Hi everyone, and welcome to another update on Blackwood Engage layout. Now, the last video that I put up, I had asked for some advice or comments regarding the changing of a junction on the layout. Now I have to say I was overwhelmed by the number of comments that I actually received. And the overwhelming view was that I should leave the junction alone, so I will bow to peer pressure and I will leave the junction alone. The more I've thought about it myself, I think it is probably not really worth changing the junction. I'm not really going to get any great changes in terms of making the layout any more efficient to, in actual fact, run. So I will keep the junction as it currently stands. Obviously the other big project that has been going on is obviously my build to prepare the base for a new home for this layout. A couple of major steps we've passed. The first thing is I now have my certificate from my local council, which is essentially saying that what I'm doing is perfectly lawful. So that has literally just arrived by email in the last 72 hours. So I have now been in discussion with the company that's actually going to manufacture the building and going to erect the building for me. So I now actually have a provisional date for this building going up in the garden, and it is going to be, wait for it, the 7th of December. And that probably gives you an indication as to how busy this particular company is. But although it's still a couple of months away, I'm not really that worried. This is a major project. I still obviously have some work to prepare the base, and I will take you out and show you what I've actually been doing in terms of preparing that base. I've also purchased some new Hunt Elite couplings, so I'll do a section. I'm going to change some of my smaller goods wagons and we'll put the Hunt Elite couplings on and see how they perform. I've also purchased some new rolling stock because for the very first time I actually managed to get to what is my local model shop, which is through in Edinburgh, which is Harburn Hobbies, and I had vouchers which were given to me last Christmas, so I was able to spend those vouchers. So I shall show you the new wagons that I have in actual fact purchased, and of course this update wouldn't be complete if I didn't have some running session. One thing that I would like to do is I would like to give a big shout out to Stephen Humphreys and his layout Elvenholme. Stephen is a much more regular uploader of videos than I am. He uploads a video probably every 2 weeks. So Stephen has a section called 2 to Watch, and in his most recent upload he very kindly highlighted this layout here. Now one thing that has come from that is my subscriber count has literally gone through the roof. I was unaware that Stephen was going to feature the layout, and I was working from home one Friday afternoon, and my mobile that was lying on the table beside me kept pinging. And every time I looked at it, it said so-and-so had subscribed to the layout. Now, the first couple I didn't really think anything about because every 2 or 3 days I get new subscribers. But after about 2 hours, I kept scratching my head because I thought, where are all these new people? Why all of a sudden am I getting dozens upon dozens of new subscribers? And I later on found out, when I obviously watched the latest episode of Elvenholme, Stephen had actually done me a big favour and had obviously mentioned the layout. So from the bottom of my heart, Stephen, thank you very much for that. Very much appreciated. So I think what I'll do now is we'll cut over to the section showing what's going on in the garden in terms of the layout's new home. and we'll then come back, have a look at the new Hunt Elite couplings, and we'll have a running session. So to all my new subscribers, thanks for joining, and I hope you enjoy the running session and the other bits and pieces, and we'll see what happens in the coming months with the layout. So without further ado, let's go out to the garden and let's see what's been going on with the base for Blackwood Engage Layout's new home. Okay, so I have completed the actual dig out. I've taken away the last bit of ground on the left hand side of the greenhouse. I've actually installed, if I zoom in, that's actually a French drain that I've put in there. Obviously this area, whole area, is clay soil, so it's very poor drainage. So I have dug essentially a very deep pit, and that has all been backfilled with 20mm gravel to assist with drainage. Greenhouse is obviously still there. Dougal's deck chair still there. On the other side, on the right hand side of the greenhouse, I've obviously removed the slabs that came up round the back of the greenhouse and a bit of walling, because obviously the walling needs to be extended straight on towards the checkboard fencing there. And waste not, want not, obviously there's a lot of infill comes out, etc. So I have used that, and that is going into the bottom of the base. It's good heavy hardcore, and then the type 1 aggregate will be put on the top. You can also see I have put in all the levels. If I zoom in to that one there, so the S, that represents the actual depth of the slab. The 150 is 150mm of hardcore. That's the minimum depth you need to dig out, and as you can see I have gone a wee bit deeper than that. So that gives you an idea of the amount of hardcore that will be underneath supporting the building. The one thing which I have discovered is that when I did my levels, I did actually think at this end of the base it would be considerably higher than the wall. You can just see the wall just sticking out there. In actual fact, the slabs are going to just finish just slightly above the height of the wall, and the greenhouse obviously it's sitting on hardcore. I've now discovered that the hardcore is not actually deep enough, so when the greenhouse is demolished I'll have to take the hardcore out, redistribute it, and then I'll need to dig a couple of inches of ground away and then backfill it all with new hardcore. So as I say, progress continues to be made. So the next stage will be to essentially backfill this part in here. Okay, so a bit more progress on the shed base. As you can see, I've actually got the first 10 slabs laid in. Obviously the greenhouse is away. Most of the site is practically filled in. There's just a back corner there where the wall has to be extended. Foundation's been put in there ready for the wall, but as I say, the slab base is actually in. I'll probably zoom out, probably give you a better idea if I don't fall down one of the holes. So as you can see, there's the entire clear site, and there's the corner with the right hand side corner of where the railway room will actually rest. Up the side there will be another path with a different slab just running down the side to give access, and it will go along the back. So At the moment I've come to a grinding halt because it's difficult to actually get these 2x2 slabs because of COVID, because all the manufacturers ran out because everybody was doing projects in their garden during lockdown. So the slabs are on order. So give you another update hopefully when this slab here is more or less finished. A couple of months ago I did a video on the new Hunt magnetic couplings, and in the shot there you can see the N-gauge close compact coupling. Now Hunt have brought out a new range of couplings called the Elite couplings, and the main difference between these and the original Hunt couplings is that these new couplings do not have an A and a B polarity. So that means it doesn't matter what way you turn your wagons or you put your coaching stock or wagon stock onto the layout, the wagons will couple up. So what I'm going to do is I have some Dapol, I'll bring this into shot in there, some Dapol Grampus wagons, and as you can see they've got the standard Rapido coupling on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test these new Elite couplings. I'll move those out of the way, and if I actually bring the new Hunt Elite couplings in, I've obviously already opened the packet, but that's the Hunt Elite couplings. Now you can see this here, this is the intermediate pack. You get 3 different sizes of couplings. You get close, you get intermediate, and you get standard. The difference between the 3 of them comes down to, if I bring one of these couplings into focus, hopefully you can pick this up, right. It's the shank, so it's the length of the coupling. So obviously a close coupling, this shank part here will be very short. This is an intermediate one, and the standard one will be slightly longer than the one I'm currently holding. And obviously if you operate very, very tight radius curves in your layout, you would probably be wanting to use the standard or possibly intermediate couplings to prevent buffer lock when your wagons go round the tight radius curves. Now to fit these, very, very simple. All you simply require to do is to remove the Rapido coupling or whatever coupling you have from the NEM pocket. If I bring that into focus, it should just be a case of just pull it out, which it does, and then all you require to do is to take the new coupling, the new Elite coupling, and push it back into the pocket, the NEM pocket. The one thing I would say is to make sure that you get these new couplings the right way around. If you look, and if I bring this in, I don't know whether this will focus, if you look at the end, you'll see there are 2 prongs, and you'll see there are 2 prongs, you see there's actually a slope on them. Now when you come to insert, if the wagon is upside down, then you want to make sure those sloping prongs are facing you. They are this way up, not the other way. You don't want them facing down. When you come to fit a Rapido, a standard Rapido or a Dapol coupling, you can orientate the couplings. There's only one way in which you can actually put these couplings in. If I bring a Dapol Easy Shunt coupling in, now again, the Dapol Easy Shunt coupling, as you can see, if this focuses, you can see at the end, you can see the slope, right? And of course there is a metal pin there, that's the actuating pin, and there's only one way that can go in. That obviously has to face down to the track so that if it runs over the magnet, the coupler will obviously open. And similarly for the Rapido couplings, you obviously have the plastic protrusion at the bottom of the coupler, so you always know which way round these go. Obviously when you come to fit if I get the right coupling, when you come to fit a magnetic coupling like this, you don't have anything to sort of tell you which way round. So as you can see, you can still see the slope there. So you want to make sure that that goes in facing you, and then it simply goes into the wagon. And as you can see, there's still left and right to play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit all the wagons I have, and then I'm going to do a test run, and we'll see what the result is, and I'll come back to you. Okay, so I have put the Hunt couplings on to this rake that's just going to travel in front of the camera just now, and I'm going to have to be honest with you, I have had a small issue. It's not insurmountable, but I have actually had to make a very slight modification to the Hunt coupling, and what I'll do is I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Right, the issue with the Elite couplings can be easily explained. At this end of this wagon I have got in a Dapple Easy Shunt coupling. Now as you'll see, if my big fingers get out of the way, the coupling will move very freely left to right, but also it will move up and down like that there. If we go to the other end, we've got the Hunt Elite coupling. This coupling will again move quite freely. If I put it that way, you can see it moving left to right. The problem is, and I don't know how the best way to show this, maybe this way, it does not move, well when I say it doesn't move, it only moves marginally up and down. Now when I put these wagons on, what I discovered was the class 20 that was pulling them, this wagon here was actually lifted off the track. Now it didn't derail because it's such a small wagon, but it wasn't sitting on the track, and that was because this coupling here didn't have any vertical play on it. It's got very, very little. Now in actual fact, to resolve that, all I had to do was, if I remove that coupling, was get a needle file, and on the shank all I did was I simply filed the shank to make the shank on both sides, just to make it a bit slimmer. Once I did that and test fitted it, the coupling will move vertically up and down without a problem. But apart from that, the couplings do work.